In the quiet outskirts of a forgotten town called Umudara, there was a road people avoided once the sun went down. Not because of robbers, not because of wild animals, but because of something far worse. The elders used to whisper about it during power outages when darkness felt thicker than usual. They said, some shadows don't belong to the living. Long ago, before the town had electricity, before the tarred road cut through the forest, there was a mass burial. No names, no rituals, no proper goodbyes, just bodies. Victims of a strange sickness that made people hallucinate before they died. They clawed at the ground, screaming about things no one else could see, shadows that moved on their own. The villagers buried them in a hurry, afraid the madness would spread. But they forgot one thing. They buried fear without peace. And ever since then, when night falls, the shadows crawl.
It was a Friday evening when Tunde, Amaka, and Femi found themselves on that road. 3 friends, young, carefree, loud. They had just attended a small birthday hangout in a nearby village. Music, drinks, laughter. It was the kind of night that made you feel invincible. Guy, if we take the main road, it would take like 40 minutes, Femi complained, adjusting his backpack. Tunde smirked. Or we take the shortcut. Amaka paused. What shortcut? Tunde pointed toward a narrow road that cut into a dense stretch of forest. That one, he said casually. Amaka frowned immediately. No, I've heard about that place. Femi laughed. Don't tell me you believe all those village stories. Amaka hesitated. It's not just stories. My grandma warned me about roads where shadows don't follow you. They lead you. Tunde rolled his eyes. We're in 2026, not 1920. Femi added, exactly. Worst case, we see a ghost and become famous. They laughed. Amaka didn't, but eventually, she followed. The road was unusually quiet. No crickets, no wind, no distant voices, just silence. The kind that presses against your ears. Their footsteps echoed faintly as they walked, their phone flashlights slicing through the darkness. After about 10 minutes, Femi spoke again. Guy, have you noticed something? Tunde didn't look back. What? Our shadows. Amaka immediately looked down. Her breath caught. Their shadows were wrong. Instead of falling behind them like normal, they stretched sideways, long, thin, distorted. Maybe it's the angle of the light, Tunde said quickly, though his voice had lost his confidence. Femi raised his phone higher. The shadows shifted, but not correctly. They didn't match their movements perfectly. There was a delay, a slight unnatural lag. Amaka whispered, let's go back. Tunde shook his head. We're already halfway. Then it happened. Femi froze. Guys. They turned. What? Tunde asked. Femi pointed ahead. Look at that. At first, it looked like nothing. Then they saw it. A shadow on the ground. But there was no one there. It crawled slowly, like a living thing dragging itself across the earth. Amaka grabbed Tunde's arm. We need to run. But Tunde couldn't move. More shadows appeared. 1, then 2, then many. All crawling, all heading toward them. The temperature dropped instantly. Their breaths became visible. The air felt heavy, like something was pressing down on them. The crawling shadows began to stretch, longer, wider, reaching. Femi shouted, "Run!" They turned and sprinted, but something was wrong. No matter how fast they ran, the shadows kept up. And then, one of them moved faster. It lunged, stretching across the ground like liquid darkness. It reached Femi first. His scream cut through the silence. "It touched me!" He stumbled forward, falling hard. Tunde turned back. "Get up! Get up!" Femi scrambled, panic flooding his voice. "It's cold! It's so cold!" Amaka looked back and saw it clearly. The shadow wasn't just a shape. It had form, faint outlines, faces, dozens of them, twisting, screaming, as if trapped inside. She whispered, "They're people." Another shadow launched. This time it stretched unnaturally, longer than the road itself. The ground beneath them seemed to darken like ink spreading in water. The shadows were no longer just chasing them, they were surrounding them. Tunde grabbed both of them. "Don't stop, don't look back." But Femi couldn't stop shaking. "They're inside my head," he muttered. "They're whispering." "What are they saying?" Amaka asked desperately. Femi's eyes widened. "They're asking why we left them." Suddenly, a massive shadow rose, not from the ground, but from nowhere. It towered over them, stretching upward like a broken reflection of a human. Then it lunged. The air turned freezing. Time felt like it slowed. And in that moment, Amaka remembered something her grandmother once said. "If the shadows come, don't let them claim your fear." She screamed, "Close your eyes!" Tunde hesitated. "What? Just do it!" They all shut their eyes. The world went silent. No footsteps, no whispers, no movement. Just darkness. When Amaka finally opened her eyes, they were at the edge of the road. The forest behind them stood still. No crawling shadows, no movement. Just normal darkness. Femi collapsed to his knees, breathing heavily. Tunde looked around, confused. "How did we—" Amaka didn't answer. She was staring at the ground. Their shadows were normal again, but Femi's was not. It moved, slightly, on its own. He didn't notice. They never spoke about that night again. Femi changed. He became quieter, distant. Sometimes he would stop mid-conversation and stare at the ground, as if listening to something. Weeks later, Amaka visited him. They sat outside under a streetlight. Everything felt normal, until she noticed it. Femi's shadow was moving, slowly, crawling away from him. She whispered, "Femi." He didn't respond. His eyes were fixed on the ground. His voice came out in a low whisper. "They are still here." Amaka looked around. The street was empty, but the shadows, they were shifting, stretching, crawling from every direction. And this time, they weren't hiding. If you ever see your shadow move before you do, don't run. It already knows where you are. If this story gave you chills, then you are not ready for what's coming next. Because this is just one of many dark legends that people are too afraid to talk about. Like this video if you felt the fear. Subscribe now for more terrifying stories every week. And comment below, have you ever seen something move that shouldn't? Because some stories aren't just stories. And remember, not every shadow belongs to the light.